This is television for the Isles of Scilly, brought to you with Truro and Penwith College and the Scilly Lottery. From Radio Scilly, this is scillytv.com.
Absolute astonishment, because we were so close to having a workable plan. We'd done what they advised. We trimmed the thing down to a workable cost benefit. Really what we were looking to improve is health and safety. An extension to the quay, the widening of the quay wouldn't have taken place, but there would have been a serious traffic passenger separation by the Mermaid. That would have filled two roles really. There's a lot of overtopping there. I have actually seen a couple coming up the quay with children, and a big wave come over and washed them into the little gully there by the Mermaid slipway, and a police Land Rover got washed over. It would prevent that sort of thing happening in the future, but people could walk safely off the quay, up through past the Mermaid, and the main traffic would be coming around by Tregarthens and going down to the quay. On the outside of that wall, there would have been planning issues related to that, because we would have been looking at breaching a Victorian wall and things like that. But I think those things were achievable with a lot of goodwill. But his letter, if I could read the last paragraph just to put it in context, I welcome that and remain committed to a speedy consideration of any new proposals that are affordable and represent value for money. I am also willing to consider proposals for St Mary's and Penzance separately should they come forward at different times, although I would expect solutions for both ends to be in place before any work funded or part funded by the department commences. Now that last line and a half actually stuffs us, because we're so close to a decision here, and Penzance are at the very least months apart. I mean, they've got like a harbourfront forum which is looking at a vast area of Penzance regeneration, not just concentrating on the Scilly Link aspect of it, which is Penzance South Quay. And I flew home on Monday morning of this week, beautiful morning, and the minibus taking me to the airport came around by the dock inn. There were two coaches there. There were cars. The quay was absolutely stuffed full. It was absolute mayhem there. And ordinary people going about their business, whistling around the corner behind that car park. Really dangerous. And I often wonder what people think in this 21st century, coming to Scilly, looking forward to a lovely holiday and arriving in Penzance and having to put up with that mayhem. Now, how the Friends of Penzance Harbour can think that's sensible or acceptable, I just do not know.
There are some people that would suggest that the plan in Scilly is effectively scuppered now, or at least nothing's going to happen until the Penzance scheme happens, and there are suggestions that that's not going to get pulled together anyway in Penzance. So where now the European money's got a timeline on it, isn't it?
The European money is what we were really counting on, and according to Diane, it's a diminishing pot. We were sort of in, and there's still money there to actually bid for, and we were fairly confident we could probably get about £5.5 million of that, with a similar amount from the government to actually provide what we need to do with a quay to improve the safety element of it. But by the time Penzance get their act together now, that European element of it is going to be lost. It's going to be dead in the water. So I think over the next sort of couple of weeks, we've really got to put our thinking caps on as to whether we can take this any further, or whether we just say, we've done our best and we regroup really. And I have a view now that perhaps we should go back and we should look at really what St Mary's Harbour needs in the 21st century, what is desirable, not what's affordable, and really revisit the whole plan and just draw up a wish list really of what would benefit the island's future economy, because whatever we say, that sea link is one of the most important aspects of what we got. And the harbour, it just does need serious investment. The Duchy, I mean, we've got a very good partnership working with the Duchy, with the Isles of Scilly Steamship Company through Jeff Morrison and the chairman, and our council. We're getting a lot of help from Cornwall Council with the work that they've done on the project. But the fear is, you see, that we were looking for bidding for European money and from some department for transport money to actually fulfil this project. That's not now available. I mean, if we went to the Duchy and said, can you afford to put £5 or £6 million in it, and they were willing, then there's non-cost to the community for there. And this is what we've been trying to avoid. And there should be support there for that. I mean, when we compare how poorly our transport services are served here, and we compare it with some of the Scottish offshore islands, I mean, we must be looking like a bit of a joke.
The Minister has made comments about the boat, and he's been quite clear about this. He says he's not convinced that somewhere in the world there isn't a second-hand vessel that will do the job.
That's right.
Have you got views about that?
Yeah, I have got views about that. I mean, unfortunately, just before the decision was made not to fund the project, the company did produce a plan of 2 second-hand vessels, but the passenger vessel was totally unsuitable, and I think they had themselves admitted. But I think they put that out as a precursor, really, to say, well, this is the sort of thing that's available. I mean, they will have to look far and wide now for something remotely suitable for the thing. I mean, what I find is slightly depressing is that now, I mean, it is down to the company and the board really to decide how they progress this. I've got no influence, nor do I wish to cause any disruption to their deliberations by putting my views forward at this time. But what I would say is to the community and to the company, really, I'm always open to negotiations, and I think partnership working is what it's all about. So I think if the company find that they cannot find a suitable alternative second-hand vessel, and Scilly is unique in so many ways, but also with the sea service that we provided with, that if they can't find a second-hand vessel suitable, and public money is needed for a new vessel, I think the council will work extremely hard with them to try and achieve that end. We were almost there before, and we've been let down by forces outside our remit, really. I mean, I think there's been a lack of support, really, from our MP in certain quarters. I mean, whatever you say about the Friends of Penzance Harbour, they have put forward a very forceful argument. They are a minority, because everybody I speak to on the mainland, all the business people and everything, just cannot believe it, that Penzance have turned down the chance of a huge injection of cash to improve the harbour. Penzance needs that sort of money. But, now they're looking at the Penzance Seafront Forum, I think they call themselves, looking at everything down there, not just the quay. So I can't see that they're going to have anything in place between now and next year this time that's going to be remotely sensible that they can call down funding for, and we can actually link our project into theirs. So it's looking like ours is almost dead in the water, and I'm very sorry to say that.